We got to talk more. I need to mention that.
Yeah, mention AP because that just came out in the last hour. So. Yep, AP.
All right. All right. Can I get your attention, please? Woo! Are you glad to be back at the Little Rock Touchdown Club for 2022 football season? Wow, what a crowd. I don't think we've stuffed more people in a room in history. We've got a lot of folks in here that are office holders, Rex, and running for office. But based on this crowd, I think they better hope that Sam Pittman never decides to run for governor. That's what. But anyway, thanks so much for dealing with how packed we are. You know, we could have got to a bigger venue and it would cost a lot more and for maybe 100, 200 more. And we like this to be it first to get in here. And if you missed out, that's too bad. It is. But we appreciate all of you. It's so great to be back together. You know, Rex, last year we were still sort of dealing with COVID. COVID's still out there, I know, but we're sort of past that point. It's great to be back, and we got you as close together as we can. You're right on top of each other, and you probably smell the cologne or perfume of the guest next to you. That darn Basil. Let me say, I did warn the hotel. I said, you better have that thing turned down as low as it can go. And obviously, when you get this many people and you get lights on, it's tough. So hard to believe this is year number 18. Very proud of that. You know, I think about where we started, Rex. Matt, do we have the picture of the first meeting if we juxtapose to what we have? There you go. Take a look at that. So that was the first. How about that, George? Chris, how about that? I think there were either 42 or 45 people. We didn't have a speaker. I got up there and we just did Q&A with everybody in the room. That's right. And lo and behold, if you'd ever said that we would have these kind of crowds and the kind of speakers we have coming in, you know, I had high expectations. You know, anything that I do, I'm going to try to be the best there is. And because of your support out here, all you members and all the sponsors, I think we're one of the best touchdown clubs in America. And getting the lineup that we have, you don't get the lineup that we have without being that. So thank you. So coach is just a couple minutes away. That's why I'm going to go ahead and start the program. If you were a founder, if you were one of the original, now that was that was the first meeting, but if you were one of the first 12 or 15 founding members, I want you to stand and wave, and let's give them a round of applause. All you founding, there's a big group over here. Rex, stand up. Right? Not many. And then if you don't mind, our current board of directors, if you could just wave, stand up, and let's give them a round of applause. Come on, stand up, and let's see you. All of you, come on, stand up. Wave, thank you. So it takes teamwork. I've always said I get a lot of credit for this, and I do work hard on it, but it takes all of us. I'm just telling you, it's like anything Coach Pittman will be talking about. It takes everybody together. It takes when our speakers come in this room, they go, my gosh, we've never seen a crowd like this. It's not this way in Mobile. It's not this way in Atlanta. It's not this way in Birmingham. It's not this way in Memphis. As a matter of fact, Memphis wants to come see what we're doing. And the Memphis Club has been around how many years? 50, 60 years. So part of that is your energy you bring to the room. And I know Terry Bradshaw last year, he felt the energy from the crowd. So you're an important part of this. We're already over 450 members. And so we appreciate that. This will be the second visit by Coach Pittman. We didn't get him that first year because we didn't have a meeting, so great to have him back. Gary Underwood, you're our official chaplain. Would you come up and lead us in a word of prayer, please?
Well, I didn't make the first meeting, but I was at the second. Rex made me come. He said, we need somebody to pray. So that's how you become the chaplain. I'm going to say something I plan to say every week for weeks to come. We're undefeated. Right? Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the beautiful day that you've given us. Lord, for the opportunity for us to gather together again and enjoy each other's fellowship, enjoy the food, enjoy a great speaker. Lord, we just thank you to use this club to reach out into our community. Lord, we ask you to use each one of us today to serve you in whatever way you have laid out before us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Gary. I want to remind everybody to mute your phone if you can. If you haven't done that, click to your phone and go to mute. If you want to text somebody to say, hey, you can watch online at the Touchdown Club Facebook page. It'll be streamed live, or YouTube, the Touchdown Club YouTube page. Or you can listen on The Buzz, 103.7 The Buzz. It is live there as well. Coach is en route, as I mentioned. We'll get him in here in just a minute. One of the things to communicate, over the years, 18 years of doing this, technology has changed. And one of the things we've added this year is the ability to do text messages. So, for example, at the end of this meeting, we will text you to say, Kirk Herbstreit tickets are now on sale. So it'll give you the chance to follow. And if you don't want to do that, you can opt out. But we've learned that over the years, some people may not pay attention to their emails as much. So we're just trying to be better communicators, and we're sensitive to your needs there. So if you want to pass on that, you certainly can. But I'm excited about having that ability to do. One of the things you might hear when you come in pre and post meeting is music. And it is the music of all of our speakers. This year, really heavy with broadcasters. And so ESPN, College Game Day, ESPN Network. You'll hear from all of our schools in the state of Arkansas that have speakers coming. BYU, we'll have that in there, just to give you a sort of a flavor. But if you wonder where those songs come from, Paul Feinbaum's got his own open. Let's just go right now. If you're ready, let's just boo Paul Feinbaum. Boo! No, I love Paul. Yeah, excited to have him come back. He hadn't been back in 10 years, which is amazing. Let me tell you what, and I'll get to the lineup here in just a minute, but it's pretty darn remarkable to have who we have, and I'll tell you why. Do you want to say thank you? We're sold out for the 50-yard line memberships and ultimate memberships. So here's the deal. Some of us will have photos every week. Some of us will not. Some of it depends, like today. We're not going to be able to do everybody, all the 50-yard line members with Coach Pittman. Just not going to be able to do it. We haven't been able to do that all the time. Last year, who I was shocked about is Eli Manning. Eli Manning got up here and took every picture, took 300 pictures with Matt Jones. I think John Gruden will be the same way. I think Kirk Herbstreit will be tough because he's filming a national commercial. But so all you who bought the right to do that, I just hope you know that some days we're going to have that. For example, Terry Bradshaw last year. So I told Terry that was sort of part of the deal. When he landed, I said, Terry, how do you feel about taking pictures post with all of it? He said, David, I'll do it if you want me to. But he said, I'm exhausted. He said, I'd be honest with you, I'd prefer not to. But if you want me to, I'll do it. I said, nope. And that's the kind of club I want us to be. And I hope you all guys know that it's still a great deal what we're doing. I mean, we raised our membership rates for the first time from $75 to $90. It's only been raised twice in 18 years. We're the best deal, I think, in the country in terms of who you get to come here speak. But we appreciate all of you joining. We appreciate you joining the College Football Hall of Fame, the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. Those were options. We appreciate that. And Matt, if you would, just put up our lineup real quick for the year, if you could. The full. Do the full. So we're the only club in America that does 15 straight weeks of speakers and a banquet at the end. So you can't do that with what we do. And if you look at that, if you'll just give me the top five, we're just going to start with the top five. Maybe the most craziest group of personalities you've ever seen. You start with Sam Pittman, which is good, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the most popular guy in the state right now. Kirk Herbstreit, do you know how impossible it is to get him here? He does College Game Day on Saturday morning. And then he does the Game of the Week nationally Saturday night. And then he goes Thursday night with Al Michaels to the NFL Game of the Week. So to get him, and I'll be honest with you, part of it is because of the excitement of the Razorbacks. I want to get those guys in because the Razorback program nationally is doing better. And the one thing Kirk Herbstreit and I have in common, you'll see, is we both sweat. We both sweat. So reading his book, he's got a great book if you haven't read it. It's an outstanding book. I don't read a lot of books, but I was really moved by what his book was about. So he's great. He's the face of college football. And then you got John Gruden. John Gruden has not made a public appearance since all the issues happened in his life. He'll be right here. So we're not coming here to beat him up. I'm going to come here because he said, I love what you guys are doing to promote football. I talked to him through John Daly. He's coming, not worried about a fee. He says, I'm coming to support your club. How about that? Didn't care about a fee at all. He said, I'm just coming to support your club. Our next speaker is Ed Orgeron. We will have an interpreter for Ed that particular day. So again, another guy who has not made a public appearance. Has not made a public appearance since all that happened. He's made some appearances with different football teams speaking to them. Hey, let's give it up for Sam Pittman in the room right now. Let's give it up for Coach. Hey, Coach! Let's give him an official welcome. Let's call those hogs. Woo! Let him go through. Hey, Suey. Pig, Suey. Pig, Suey. Razorbacks. Very well done. Good job. So back to the lineup. Ed Orgeron has not made a public appearance since he had his issues. He's got plenty of money. He loves Arkansas, and he's looking forward to coming back. And the last one we had up there, Matt, is all you have to do is look at the, no, not that one, the one before that. Go back to the last five. Look at that picture of Feinbaum. Is that not more fitting for Paul Feinbaum? So here's the deal. I'm just telling you, to get Paul Feinbaum to not do his show on a Monday, to be here, that says a lot about several things. One, my relationship with him, and two is making the deal work for him. And the other, I think he understands, just like with Kirk Herbstreit and all the other broadcasters, the Arkansas football program is back, and it's exciting, and people are excited about that. So let's go to the next thing. Just look at the broadcasters alone. Matt, if you'll patch up that next one. Look at that. So Herbstreit, Feinbaum, Marty Smith, the number one guy from College Game Day, sideline analyst. Tim Brando, legendary broadcaster. Peter and Dory, both from the SEC Network. All those folks are coming to the Touchdown Club. And of course, we have all the college coaches here in Arkansas. We're excited about that, as well as Hunter Yurchek, Joe Theismann, Houston Nutt. You can't do this without everybody being together. So let's give a big round of applause to everybody for getting that kind of lineup. Matt, we won't worry about, just know that we also talking about the awards that John Gruden was talking about. We work hard to be able to give these awards at the end of the year. We'll talk about them more as the year goes on. Couldn't do it without amazing help from the Doubletree Hotel, Mark and Brant, Nita, All you all just do an amazing job. Thank you, Michael. We even have, I don't know, the sheriffs out there parking people in the front. We pay to have that done. Free parking. Our Touchdown Club team, Matt Johnson Productions. Thank you, Matt. Dwayne Duncan, taking photos for like year number 12 or 13. RJ Hawk leading our social media. Appreciate him, along with Meredith Scott Hale with Car Tie, volunteering her time. Gary Underwood, our official chaplain. Rex Nelson, who will do our weekly football wrap-up, none today. And our amazing Touchdown Club team. If you're a volunteer, no other club, Governor, no other club in America has this. If you're a volunteer, most in the back, stand up if you're a volunteer, and let's give them a round of applause. Come on, everybody who's a volunteer. Everybody stand up and look around the room. So that's probably 13 right there of the 20. And we couldn't do it without a great executive director. She knows this place left and right. Give it up for Debbie Wyman, everybody. Couldn't do it without great sponsors. Hold your applause, if you will. 103.7 The Buzz, Terry Mahan, thanks for your support. Right now, Justin and Wes are out there going live with what we're doing, and couldn't do it without my buddy Roger and RJ and Justin Moore supporting me doing this. We appreciate that at Morning Mayhem. But every week, because of Arkansas Urology and 103.7 The Buzz, we're here live. The Hatcher Agency, my good buddy Greg Hatcher has done so much. Not only his Twin City limo, the Hatcher Agency, he's always behind the scenes helping the Touchdown Club. Thank you, Greg. It'll be neat to follow Lane this year as we did last year. War Memorial Stadium, to my left, Stacy Hurst, who is the Secretary of Department of Parks and Tourism and Heritage. The old stadium opened in 1948, Stacy, and very proud that it's now called Simmons Bank Field. Thanks to our friends at Simmons Bank supporting the stadium. And Saturday, August 27th, could be a sellout, we hope, or at least 30 to 40,000 worth at the Salt Bowl. Also want to thank Arkansas Urology, Scott Davis, Chris Shinup, and the entire team, Dr. Moore, and everybody for pushing guys to get checked up and for sponsoring what they do here. Obviously, multiple locations across the state. They serve over 100,000 people a year. Thanks to Arkansas Urology. They're the best in the country, in my opinion. Pulaski County Farm Bureau, Stephen Reichard, here at the head table, along with Todd Dennis. Great service with great rates. Been doing it for 80 years here in Pulaski County. Give them a chance to give you some quotes on some rates. They'll do a great job, Pulaski County Farm Bureau. Advantage Service Company, to my right, Kevin Brooks at the head table. Kevin, appreciate you back for year 2. Heating, air, plumbing, electrical, locally owned, operated for 40 years. They love hogs, they love family, they love the Little Rock Touchdown Club. 5011 call. We appreciate Advantage Service Company. Dairy Queen, where's Blake at? Blake Lively down there to the right. Blake, Nelson, Jacob Lively, Todd Denton. 5.5 years, they are the state's largest DQ franchise, one of the fastest growing restaurants in the state. Just opened their 13th location. They're growing like gangbusters. They said that Clarksville stop is going to be good for game day in Fayetteville, right, Blake? So stop by there. Simmons Bank Arena, we got Sean Brown. Where's Sean? Sean's been with the Simmons in the arena since it opened, I think. Great to have you, Michael Marion, Janet George. Just got this information in. Simmons Bank Arena is having the best year since it's opened in 1999. Polestar ranked them 23rd in the nation and number 28 in the world in the mid-year charts as far as concerts, attendance. So really proud to have them involved and got an unbelievable lineup of great acts. So we appreciate Simmons Bank Arena being back. We'll talk about their acts as we go throughout the year. Big Red Stores, our friend the Hendricks family, David and Doug and David Jr., and Landon Parker at the head table. 25th year, 25th anniversary. They always give back, 48 locations around the state. They always give back to the community, and I almost hate to do this right now, but I'm going to do it. Coach, I'm glad you're out of the line of fire. Right now, under the seats out there are 50 $25 gift certificates to Big Red. So if you want to reach under right now and see if you're the winner of one of 50 $25 gift certificates. So Sam, we're going to see how much these folks want to have $25 of free gas or Twinkies. I didn't plant them. There you go, Neil. Very good. That, look at there. Listen, that was stacked. Oh, look at there. Very nice. So some of you are happy and some of you are not, but thank you to Big Red for doing that. We appreciate that. Love you guys. They're always here every week. They're the best. They're the best. If you want to donate one of those to the person sitting next to you, you feel more than welcome. All right, also, next up, Wright Lindsay and Jennings. Judy Henry and Wright Lindsay and Jennings has been a supporter of the Touchdown Club. She's on our board. If it weren't for her and Wright Lindsay and Jennings, we would not have the Cliff Harris Award, which, by the way, Coach, it's amazing. Small College Defensive Player of the Year, the Cliff Harris Award. The New England Patriots have 4 of our guys on there. One of them is the stud Kyle Duggar. Another one is Sam Johnson, who won the award last year, who got playing time. And we have 2 other finalists. We have 4 of the Cliff Harris Award players that are playing a role on the New England Patriot defense, but couldn't do it without Judy and Wright Lindsay and Jennings. They've negotiated, by the way, if you didn't know it, over 50 NIL deals for businesses and athletes since 2021, including KJ Jefferson, Devo Davis, you name it. So 50 NIL deals. And if you want to do an NIL deal with a Razorback athlete or any athlete in the state, they're the ones to talk to. And, of course, we know, obviously, the story of Judy and her role in getting Coach Pittman here. She's been a long-standing board member. Let's give it up for Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. Appreciate Judy Henry and Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. Somebody could come up here with a towel at some point? No? Next up, Crane Automotive, Larry Crane. Let's see Larry over there. Larry, thanks you so much for supporting the club. You've done it now for over a decade, 24 locations across the state, 9 car and truck dealerships, 3 RV dealerships. You got 1,000 employees, and I love the way you care about your employees, and they're always here every week. They're always here supporting the club, and couldn't do it without you. You've been a great supporter since the get-go. Great to have you back. Thank you, Larry Crane and Crane Automotive. Democrat Gazette, Wally Hall and Amanda Copley, 18 years. Wally, I know Wally's over there. Wally, you're writing articles supporting the Touchdown Club since day one. We would not be where we are without you. Amanda, it's great working with you with our Player of the Week every week. And last but not least, Simmons Bank. This, I think, I was talking with Chris White. I think, Chris, this is year number 10. And because of Simmons Bank, we have to have all the sponsors. Because of Simmons Bank, and by the way, too, first let's give a round of applause to all the sponsors I just mentioned. Let's do that first. They all participate. But you need a presenting sponsor in addition to all those. And, man, I can't tell you how happy I am and proud I am to have Simmons Bank as our presenting sponsor. You guys have raised the bar. You started with, Governor, they started with $3,000 back in the early 1900s with Dr. Simmons. They're up to $27 billion in assets in 6 states. They do so much in the community. They always give back, whether it's female college athletes or, the stadium here in Memphis. They do so much. And how nice was it yesterday to see our man Will Zalatoris with his Simmons Bank logo on his shirt win his first tournament yesterday. Please give it up for George Macris, everybody. George, come up and say a few words.
Thanks, David, and that's a great introduction to this first little video, an instant replay. It's not football, but it is athletics, and I think we all have that in common if you'll look at your screen.
He's got it! Finally, Zalatoris is a PGA Tour winner.
We are so excited to have Will on Team Simmons. One of these days, I'll confess to how all that came about. It's better to be lucky than good is all I have to say about that. But Will is a better person than he is a golfer, and he's got a great future ahead of him. He's engaged to be married in December, and he has a great future ahead of him. We are extremely proud to be associated with the Little Rock Touchdown Club, David. It's a great honor for Simmons Bank, and I tell David this all the time, that he might be the best promoter of his sponsors of anyone I've ever run across, and it makes certainly our effort worthwhile, and we appreciate that. David is first to give credit to everyone else, but I'm telling you, the guy that makes it happen here is sitting right here, David Basil. So we're thankful to have Coach Pittman here today. Coach, Wally was a little conservative last year in his projections. I see he has you in double-digit wins this year. It's still up in the air which double digits that will be, but we're all really dependent on that. No pressure or anything, but times have changed in college athletics, and I get confused with the transfer portal and NIL and all that. So at Simmons, we came up with a little cheat sheet, if you will, that we're going to give Coach. And if you'll take a look at that, in the top right-hand corner, it says picture optional, price negotiable. And below it's hello, I'm whoever you are, and I play whatever position I play. Back when I played, we just had a little strip of tape on our helmet. This is a little more sophisticated, Coach, but I think it's a sign of the times. So we're glad to have you here today, and thank you very much, David, for the opportunity to include Simmons Bank in this great event.
All right, a couple more minutes and we'll get Coach up here. First thing I want to do is it's always great when we have the governor here. And Governor, I don't know how many times you've come, but you've come multiple times. I remember your Steve Atwater, you were here. But that tells you something about Little Rock Touchdown Club when the governor is here. So let's please welcome the 46th governor of our wonderful state, Asa Hutchinson, everyone. And one of our regular members that's here all the time, she is the Attorney General of our state, Leslie Rutledge. Please welcome Leslie. Good to see you, Leslie. And our last state office holder who is here is Dennis Milligan, our state treasurer. Where's Dennis at? Give it up for Dennis over there. Thank you. So, Sam, one of the things about this meeting, I mean, it's jam-packed in here, is that this is a political season and people are running for office. So I'm not going to introduce everybody, but here's the deal. Because you're doing it, and I'm not, because I don't got the gumption to do it. If you're running for an office, not going to introduce you, I want you to stand up and wave to everybody, and let's give them a round of applause for being here. If you're running for office, please stand. Governor, mayor, whatever it is. Right? Look around the room. State rep, governor, you name it. They all paid. They all paid. Dang straight with this kind of room. But listen, we love that the Touchdown Club is important enough for you to be here. That's what you think of the Touchdown Club. We're very proud of that. Also wanted to introduce our former executive director, Kelly Lassane. Where's Kelly at? Wave at us, Kelly. Kelly, obviously, Debbie Wyman. Give it up for Kelly Lassane, who did a great job for, I don't know how many years, 5, 10 years, Kelly? 10 years. 10 years with the Touchdown Club. Couldn't be where we are without you. Our good buddy Tommy May is here. Lunsford Bridges is here. Always great to see you guys. Let's give it up for Tommy and Lunsford, two of the best guys on the planet. Lunsford, we wouldn't be here if you didn't believe in the Touchdown Club years ago. It really is. And then I want all the Razorbacks. If you're a Razorback player or former coach, whatever, team captain, I want you to stand up. There's so many in here, I can't introduce everybody. I see Freddie over there. Everybody, those players and coaches, please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. Former players and coaches, let's go. Here we go. Look at there. Outstanding. And I see Jimmy. I see you back there. Ricky, I see so many of you. Coach Turner, who coached 6 All-American kickers. Oh, my gosh, it's so great. Coach Pittman, to have guys who are team captains and others here. It means a lot to have them and some of my old teammates as well. I did want to mention Scott Verity here with the Razorback Foundation, the executive director, along with Micah Strother. Let's give it up for Scott and Micah. Great to have you guys here. Thank you. We want to say a special prayer for Brian Nelson and Paul Campbell, the U of A pilots, as you get Coach down here and back. Please pray that happens. And also Patrick Doherty. Where's Patrick at? Where's Patrick at? Patrick may be the only guy that's called me to talk about the boot. Coach, he called me. He said, what are we going to do about that? Do we need to clean this boot up? Because we hadn't had it in a while. And we got. So, Patrick, you're not going to do some talking after this, right? It's great to have Patrick Doherty, the Director of Football Ops, and a guy who works really hard. He's great to work with. I see him every weekend in the press box during football and throughout the year. He's Associate AD for Communications. He does a great job. Please get it for Kyle Parkinson, everybody. Where's Kyle at? Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. All right, it is time for our time with Coach. So our man Steve Sullivan over at KTV always does a great job of putting together a little short video introduction. So if you turn your attention to the screen, we'll get started with our intro of Coach.
What Sam Pittman has done in only 2 seasons is remarkable. He inherited a program that hit rock bottom. Season 1 featured COVID and a brutal 10-game SEC schedule. Pittman's Hogs earned 3 wins and, more importantly, they gained respect. And last season, I don't know anyone who picked the Hogs to win 9 games, and those wins. Week 2 on a magical Saturday night in Fayetteville with a who's who of the Razorback sports world watching, the Hogs pounded those dreaded 15th-ranked Horns, their first home non-conference win over a ranked opponent in 14 years. Week 4, they manhandled the 7th-ranked Aggies, ending that agonizing 9-game losing streak to A&M. And who can forget Larry? This is how you celebrate being bowl eligible. Larry was the best $20 purchase in the history of college football. And how sweet was it to watch Cam Little boot the game-winning field goal at Baton Rouge, bringing Baz's boot back to Fayetteville. The last win in the Golden Boot rivalry for Arkansas came in 2015. Then on January 1st, Pittman's Hogs took care of Penn State. Their last New Year's Day win came in the 2000 Cotton Bowl when Arkansas spanked Texas. Please welcome your head coach, Sam Pittman.
Let's give a touchdown club welcome to Sam Pittman, everybody.
We have a meeting this afternoon. Man, I've seen a lot of people here that I saw on TV. There's a lot of fancy people here today, isn't there? I want to do a little bit of something to some of y'all in here with your mental, how you feel about yourself. If you're one of the 5 people that Basil didn't introduce in here, you're important too now, okay? So please, if y'all want to get together later, you 5 will visit. I mess with him every year. I'm gonna get you again next year if I'm back. Thank you for the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Obviously, David's been good to us. He's good to us on the radio. He, obviously was a captain for us. His heart is Arkansas, and much appreciation to him. This morning we had practice number 9, and so what we're trying to do is we're trying to practice at 2:30, we're trying to practice at 11, and we're trying to practice at night. I don't know if y'all know this, but our game times for the majority of them don't get told to us until 13 to 11 days out. TV controls that. Not where, but when. And so we're trying to get ready for all those. What you try to do is you try to take anxiety out of the kids, because anxiety makes you tired. The unknowing makes you tired. And so what we're trying to do right now is take the anxiety out of it. The first day of practice, we gassed out quite fast. Even though we're in good shape, but anxiety, we had to get that out of us. So it's not only about playing and this, that, and other, it's about how you feel at what time during the day. So this week we'll practice at around 11 o'clock. Obviously it's a little bit earlier today because I want to come and visit with y'all, but this whole week will be 11, and then the first week of school on Friday night, on Friday, first week of school, we'll practice at night so we can catch balls under the light and things of that nature. In other words, take any of the anxiety out of the game. Our biggest thing we're trying to do as coaches is take the I hope to I know. And, we've all, I think, I have. I don't know if you have, but I think we've all gone into a situation where we're going, man, I hope this doesn't happen, or I hope this does happen. And to be honest with you, if you're in the hope world, you probably are not in the I've been prepared world, because you're either in the I hope or you're in the I know. And it's our job as coaches to get our kids into, I know if this happens what I'm going to do. I know what the end of the game score is going to be. I know how I'm going to feel 4 hours before the game. All these things are so important. And so our job is to take the I hope out of our kids and turn it into I know. And if we can do that, then we can have 110 confident guys running out through the A, or 70 running when we go away that are very, very confident and very, very prepared. I have a really good coaching staff, And they're great teachers. They know how to talk to kids. That's important. We're not a group of guys that a guy drops a pass and we say, catch the ball. He knows he's supposed to catch the ball. It's our job to get him taught how to coach the ball. And if we have problems, it's our job to put it in our individual, in our fundamentals, things of that nature. So I went off a little bit, veered off a little bit about what I want to talk to you about, but that's kind of what we're trying to do at this point in time right now. The NCAA gives you 29 days to have 25 practices, okay? This year it was 31. We could have chose to bring our kids in a couple of days earlier. I did not. I think camp's long enough as it is. So you have 7 days that you can wear just spiders, which is non-shoulder pads. You have, and then the rest of them are divided up from full pads. I think it's 7, 9, and 9. And but the bottom line is nobody goes full pads. It's a difference in a knee pad that big around, whether you're in full pads or whether you're in shells nowadays. It's not a big deal. So I think there's enough days in there where you're not off, but you're not physically combative, that we elected just to stay with the 29 days to get to 25. We do have 13 Little Rock, Pulaski County kids on our team. You guys know who they are, but I do want to highlight we had some new ones with Andrew Chambly and Nico Davier from Maumelle coming in, and I thought they've both really been really good on our team. Of course, and I don't want to keep going down the list, but of course Hudson Henry has been a big asset to us, and Jackson Woodard is playing really well. He's moved up to somewhere between that 3 and 4 linebacker for us, not 3rd and 4th depth, 3 and 4 linebacker. So he's done a really good job, and so we're happy that we're represented over there in Fayetteville by Little Rock and Pulaski County. I don't want to get into depth on this, but because I already had it in when Judy and I first met, but we had the SEC non-compete when Judy first did the contract for us, and I think it was important for us that there was stability in the university's head coach, and that this was a destination spot, and so my new contract also has an SEC non-compete in it, and what we're doing with that is we're selling stability, and what we want to tell the state of Arkansas is that we're loyal to you, and that we want to be here, and that we're not leaving, and we wanted to put it in paper just like we did that first contract when Judy and I were handling that. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the university keeping our coaches for us. I mean, there's a lot of money out there, and there's a lot of people that want our coaches. I mean, anytime you go from whatever it was, not very many wins to 9 wins, and people want your coaches, and luckily we've been able to keep them, and that's from the loyalty. They like y'all. I mean, they like the state. They like going down to Lake Hamilton. They like Beaver Lake. I mean, and they like the school systems that we have, and so we've been able to keep everybody we want to, in the coaching. Governor, every now and then, I hate to see you go. Right. But we all want to be here, and we put a piece of paper, we put a pen to a piece of paper to say that, and it's helped us in recruiting, in the NIL days and the portal days and all that. Stability is still the number one thing that these kids are looking for, and it's 1A with NIL. I mean, It's not the number, it's tied. But stability is what we can sell here at the university, and that's what we're doing. Talking a little bit briefly about last year, I want you guys to know that we've graduated 100% of our football team again. We've done that every year. Yeah. I wish I could take credit for that. That's not me. It took me 6 years to graduate, But I got a strong PE degree out of it, Oh, man. Anybody, don't show hands, anybody enjoy college as much as me? But we are graduating our kids, and we have every year we've been here. You guys know we've had the most wins last year we had since 11. We finished ranked in the top 20 in the country. We won the 4 trophies. 2 of them were, did you have the Outback Bowl trophy too? Or we had the boot, and we got the battle line, and we got the Southwest Classic. You know what's amazing? I love you, but a long time, if it's forever, that's when the last time we had them all. Never. And we got them now. I tell you, I went out to practice with Burks, and I was going, I was messing with him in stretch, and I go, you ain't even never seen the boot trophy? And he goes, oh, yeah, I have. I said, no, you haven't. He said, yeah, when I got recruited over at LSU, I saw it. I'm going, man. But, what we did, we made a big deal out of that. Because you know why? Because it is a big deal. And so we had, now I'm talking about before we got them. We wanted to, I guess the first one we had an opportunity to get is the Southwest Classic versus Texas A&M. And we wanted that. We talked about it. It was a big deal to us. I mean, we talked about it. Some coaches don't. I say, why not? It's a goal at the end of the week. It's a win, and what comes with the win is the trophy. It's a big deal. You know what's a bigger deal? The feeling of you going and running and getting a trophy, and the feeling that you have in a locker room after you get the trophy. That's more important than probably any of it. But at the end, David, we had the 4 Bs. So we had made a run. We'd gotten to 8th, made a run. And we lost 3 in a row there, and at the end of the year we were 5-3, and so we called it the 4 Bs. So we had the boot. Well, the first one was a bowl, so that's when we broke Larry out, and so the first one was a bowl. Next one was the boot. The next one was Bama, and the next one was the Battle Line Trophy. So our kids all knew about the 4 Bs. I was sitting there talking about with Barry Odom. I was sitting back there talking to him. I said, when you were at Missouri, you made runs through November. That's when his team was the best, when he was at Missouri. And I said, we got to get some type of motivation that we can go win out and end up 9-3. Unfortunately, we couldn't. We got beat by Alabama, but winning the boot. And the other thing too, I can't tell you what to do because I'm trying to get by myself. But if you set a goal and you reach it, you need to celebrate it, I believe. I mean, or don't set the goal. But if you reach something in your life, have a hell of a time with it, and that, like, I got a little bit of back on me with when we celebrated our 6th win against Mississippi State. Well, A, they were 17th in the country. They had a good team. B, we hadn't been in a bowl in a long time, and too long. And it was one of our goals. I didn't say it was the highest goal we had. One of our goals, and we're damn sure going to celebrate it when we reach our goals. And I'm going to tell you, y'all all would have been in there when Larry was rolling down that. It was fun. You guys missed out on a hell of a party that day. It was a lot of fun now. And, of course, now Larry's got his own little carrying case now. We're upgrading with him. But, and then we went to, we won the boot, and then we went to LSU, and we were fortunate enough to win the boot. And then So, now we have one of the two of your trophies, and then we unfortunately couldn't beat Bama, but then we came back and won the Battle Line Trophy against Missouri. So we took a picture in our suits with the 3 trophies and on the way to the Outback Bowl, and we moved one of them so we could place the Outback Bowl championship trophy in there. And I told the kids, we took 2 pictures. One was with the 3 trophies, and I said, you'll never see this one. We're going to go win the Outback Bowl, and then we'll photobomb the trophy in there, And by golly, that's what we did, So let's move on to now. We got a good football team. We really do. I don't know what that means in wins and losses, but we have a good football team. We had 3 super seniors coming back with Dalton Wagner, Bumper Poole, and Dorian Gerald. Now, if you want to know about Dorian Gerald, you'll have to ask Coach Nutt. He's so old, I think Houston recruited him. I don't know how old the guy. I think he's older than me. I don't know. But he coming back for his 7th year, I think is what it is. And but he's been hurt, and things of that nature. But those 3 came back. Those are 3 super seniors on our team. We've added 9 guys out of the portal on scholarship that are going to help us, and I'll get to that in just 2 seconds. I know you and I need to talk, Baz, and do that. But on here it talks about our 3 coordinators. That when you can keep that, what happens is you're not going back to terminology. You're not going back to who's this guy, I don't like this guy, all this. They know what they're going to get. And so we're able to keep our 3 coordinators, and Scott and Kendall and Barry, and then we were able to keep our strength coach. All those things are important. So how do you keep them? Well, number one way you keep them is financially. I mean, that's where the foundation and all that money that you guys do that helps us, because without it, they go on down the road. Haven't you seen coaches do really well and then they lose 2 or 3 coordinators, and 2 or 3 years later they're out on the street somewhere? Hopefully they can come back to Little Rock Touchdown Club, maybe earn a few dollars. By the way, I'm still free, Judy. Thank you. I was free last year, free this year. No, I'm teasing. But anyway, that's a big deal. That's a big deal to keep you want to keep the people in your building that can influence the most. In other words, your O coordinators, he talks to O offense, D coordinator, O defense. Special teams talks to all of them. Strength coach talks to all of them. You want to keep the people that influence the most people. And so we were able to do that. And then if you go down here for this schedule coming up, and then Dave will ask the questions, it's the 3rd year in a row that we've won the trophy. You need to make one, because, hell, we seem to win it every year, for the hardest schedule in football. Somebody's been trying to fire me ever since I got here. But we're hanging tough, But, we have all 12 of our opponents played in the postseason last year. Our 2 non-conference opponents are in the top 25. BYU is 21-4 over the last 2 years with 20 starters coming. And they're coming, oh, no, we're going out there to play them. And then we play Cincinnati, but they're just not, they were in the college football playoffs last year. So it is what it is. And, we're the University of Arkansas. Hell, we're supposed to play teams like that. And so we don't look at it as a 12-game season. We just look at it who's next, And if you do it any other way, it could either get scary or it could get complicated. And we'll just leave it like it is. Our crossover games this year are South Carolina and Missouri. Somebody might ask me about the pods. There's a pod and 6. There's a pod and 6 and a pod and a single and 7. I think both of the way that they're trying to do our schedule in the SEC, I think it's outstanding, because either one of those models where you have 3 permanents and 6 away, or 1 permanent and 7 away, either one of those models is going to allow a home and home with every team in the SEC. And I think that's really what the fans want to see. I think they want to see us play Tennessee here and go to Tennessee, or play Florida here, and I think, or play Vanderbilt or whoever it may be. I think the fans want to see us play everybody every year, and over a 4-year. So a young man comes in, by the time he becomes a senior, he's going to be able to see and play every opponent twice. And so I think either one of those models would be great. Right now it's not broke for our conference where you're playing 8 games, so I'm assuming that would be where they start. I don't know that, but that's what I assume. If that was that way, then our permanent crossover would be Missouri. And so I think this is that, and I've said it before, but we're trying to be loyal to the state. We're trying to be loyal to each other. I want you guys, when you go to the game, I want you to see a tough football team. I want you to see one that's hard working. I want you to see that. I think that's what our great state is, but that's what we want to see. We want to show you that we're proud to be a part of the state, and that we know we represent the state, and we want to be tough. And not only tough physically, we want to be tough-minded. I think they go hand in hand. I think they have to be. And our team's pretty strong. I mean, they're pretty tough. They're loyal to the state. They love the state of Arkansas. It's easy to, because of the people of Arkansas. I said it in the SEC Media Day, but in my office it says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas, you're coming to play for the state of Arkansas. And that's about as true a statement as you can get. And we feel it. Since I've been here, we're up over 14,000 per game. Home attendance. It's second in the world, second in the nation, how our fans have come out in the last from 19 to 21. And we need the home field advantage. We need you to score points for us. And we believe that you do, and we appreciate everything you do. Y'all good? Thank you very much.
Coach, you just stand right there. You stand right there. It'll be fine. So, Coach, I remember when I transitioned from Lou Holtz to Ken Hatfield. That first year in '84, we got to know that staff. It was new. By the time in '85, we'd already been through it one time. We knew them. A lot difference in confidence from year 1 to year 2. Sounds like that's what you're saying. Your comments yesterday about the scrimmage or Saturday. This team been around the block with you, know what's expected, sounding very confident about this team. That's something you don't always do. You want it to be known that you're really feeling good where your program is.
Dave, guys, any of you ever been to and there's some incredibly strong and physical and small towns. I came from a small town, and I wasn't strong and physical, but I still came from a small town. But have you ever noticed that I'm the strongest guy in the 12th grade at this small school? But I transfer mid-year, and I transfer over to some big school, and I'm middle of the road strength-wise. I think sometimes you have to see it. I think you have to see it. You can talk about it, but I think sometimes you have to see it done before you really start believing it. In other words, this kid over here that's stronger and strong in this small town or wherever he's at, and he moves this big one, he's never seen anybody like he got ready to see. It's the same way with our team. We'd never, been a while of any of those kids on our team had never, in all honesty, had never seen any type of success on the field. None of them. Hadn't seen a bowl, hadn't seen a winning season, any of that stuff. So the confidence comes from what we've seen. We've seen that we can go into LSU and win. We've seen we can go into Jerry's World and beat A&M. We've seen that the University of Texas can come in here, we can beat them. Those things help that confidence. And then if you continue to do what you've been doing, and now I can see the results, and I know what my work is going to do for me, I think you can go wherever you're capable. I think you can reach your capabilities at that point.
Talking about the transfer portal, you lose last year, you lose the heart and soul of your team, Grant Morgan, who was the epitome of fighting Razorbacks, and you pick up a former 5-star from Alabama. Then you lose a first-round draft choice in Treylon Burks, and you pick up Hazelwood from Oklahoma, who now you're seeing now in practice sounds like this is what you expected. Just amazing how college football has changed and the impact of those two, losing two great players, but also picking up two great players that quick.
Yeah, it takes everybody a little bit. It's like when you go to your new job. It takes you a little bit to kind of get comfortable, right? And it might take you the end of the week to learn the week. It might take you the end of the month to figure out what a month is like. And to be honest with you, it takes a full year to figure out when you get Christmas vacation, when you're uncomfortable for an entire year if you take a new job. It's the same way with the kids. They're uncomfortable for a while. With Hazelwood wasn't he wasn't close to the receiver he is right now last semester. He's still looking around, trying to figure everything out, playing a half step slow, didn't know his teammates, those type things. If you're going to go in the portal, I think it's so important that you do it in January. I've always believed if you go in for a junior college player, you go in January, because it takes those guys at least 6 months to get acclimated to what the program's about. So with Drew Sanders, he's done a great job. Matt Landers, you're going to know about now. He's 6'5" and can fly at wide receiver. And Warren the most improved group of guys we've had to 9 practices is our wide receivers.
Last year we were here, I think one of the question marks for most fans and media was quarterback position.
Yeah.
Not a question mark anymore. Just talk about KJ and his progression from last year.
I mean, KJ's the man. I mean, y'all like him? I do. But he's a leader. I mean, he hadn't always been that because, he's just trying to earn his stripes, out there. But, I mean, he's so accurate with the ball right now, so confident, lost some weight. The other day, I popped him in the gut, and he said, "Oh, you hurt your hand, And, when you get older, you say stuff, and then when you say it, you look at them, they go, they have no idea who you're talking about, So I popped him, and I said, "Who you think you're, Fabio or somebody?" And he go. So after practice, I sent him a picture of Fabio. I said,
Coach, your calling card for many years in this league or as a coach on the offensive line was just big offensive line, powerful. Obviously, you guys led the SEC in rushing. It was number 1 in Power 5 rushing. And you got everybody back, and they're bigger this year.
Yeah. Luke Jones is really he's come in there and done a great job. Again, anytime you don't talk about offensive lineman, that means he's playing really good. And Luke has stepped into that group. Tykees Crawford's another guy that's playing really well. Devin Manuel, Cody Kennedy is, in my opinion, the best offensive line coach in the country. And some of the teams that offered him jobs this past year would tell you that. I'm not the only one that thinks he's a great offensive line coach, but he elected to stay here as KB did, and several guys, Barry, the guys that had opportunities to leave. But I'm really pleased with that line. They're a non-content. I mean, they're a hard-working group. They know they got, they didn't win the Joe Moore, so they need to go try to do that. I think that's a big deal for them in that room. I think they got to the semifinals last year, but really good group of kids that work extremely hard.
I played against some pretty good running backs in my day. I've said quite a bit here. But you got a stable full of them up there. You got 3 or 4 really, really good ones. All can obviously did something that hadn't been done since 1975. Last year you had 4 backs, including KJ, with over 500 yards rushing. And it's an impressive group again this year.
Yeah, Rocket Sanders is a guy that's, the first guy in study table. I mean, he's a great kid. He's 230 pounds, big old good-looking guy. But you have Rocket, and then you got A.J. Green, who, ran 10.3 in high school, big kid. And for you guys that don't know that, it's really fast. That wasn't at 40, that was 100. And I didn't know it, and I threw the shot. I mean, and then Dominique Johnson is one we got to get back. I mean, Dominique was one of our best rushers last year. He had an injury in the bowl game. I think we'll get him back. And then Rashad Dubinion is a guy from Cedar Grove that you guys will know about. He's a really good football player. So we're stacked up pretty good at running back.
Last couple questions. First, you open up with Cincinnati. Really, typically for Razorback football, back in my day, I remember we didn't open up with a lot of teams who were ranked.
Yeah.
You see a little bit more of that now, but Arkansas has not done that as much. This year, a lot of the players we've talked to, Bumper and all of them, they're excited that you have a ranked team number one your first game, because it gets you have to be focused. You can't sort of walk through. And talk about starting with Cincinnati and how it helps your approach for game one.
Well, I think you just said it. I think it helps you in the off season. I mean, you're getting ready for, a top 25 team when they come in here. We have a lot of respect for Cincinnati. I lost an award when Luke Fickle won it. That's kind of a bad deal. They walked us all out at the same time. And then I no longer got on my X. There was 5 of us. And I got to my X, and they said, Luke, they started showing his highlights. So I'm like, what am I doing? Then I walked behind the stage and had to walk back, and I was the keynote speaker. It made no sense. He should have been, right? I mean, he won. But anyway, he's really a good coach. And he did something they've never done. Nobody's ever done it before. They took a non-Power 5 team to the playoffs, but I got to know him. I have certainly a lot of respect for him and their team. They just a lot like us. I think they play hard now. They're in their mind they're a disrespected football team, and they play hard and it shows. So it's going to be a really, really physical and hard game for us.
Last one. You're number 3. Here you are. Is this in your mind where you want to be year 3? This is where you've got the program. A lot of people are excited. I mean, it's been a while since the Razorback program has been this hot. Obviously, you look at the crowd today. Is this exactly sort of on the timeline you had the program when you imagined it, when you started?
I think, in all seriousness, I think the goal was to make the state of Arkansas proud of the team. And I don't really know what that is in wins and losses. I really don't. I want guys on Sunday morning to go, hey, you see the Hogs, and have something to brag about. And so I don't know what that means. I know this, that it seemed to me like we won a whole lot of games fast, and so then when you do that, the expectation kind of goes up as well. We understand that, but you guys understand now that you play 12, so to get to 10, 11, 12, you can't lose hardly. If you win 12, you can't lose any of them. So, you get it. When you win 5 and you win 6, you won one more, but if you win 9, there's not a whole lot. It just goes to 10, 11, and 12. So you might keep that in mind one of these days. Hopefully not this year, but one of these days. But no, we want to win. I mean, we want to win the West. We want to win the whole thing. We want to win the Natty. We want to win all of it. And we're at Arkansas. We should have that opportunity to do that. And but it's going to take a little bit of time. I think right where we're at after year 2, I think the kids should be pleased with what they did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our head hog, Sam. Everybody, thanks, Coach. Thanks for being here. Kirk Herbstreit next week. Where's Dwayne Duncan? Dwayne Duncan. Just going to do a couple.